Have you ever noticed how the people who seem hardest to reach are often the ones everyone wants to be around? While you're answering every text within minutes, dropping everything for last-minute plans, and bending over backwards to accommodate everyone else's schedule, there's something happening that you might not even realize. You're teaching people exactly how to treat you. When you're always available, you become invisible. Not because people don't see you, but because they stop valuing your presence. Think about it. When something is always there, always accessible, always ready to give, it loses its perceived worth. You become the backup plan, the safety net, the person they turn to when their first choices aren't available. But here's what most people don't understand about availability. It's not just about being busy or playing hard to get. It's about something much deeper. It's about respect, boundaries, and the psychology of human desire. The moment you stop being available to everyone, everything changes. Your relationships shift. Your self-worth transforms. The way people perceive and treat you evolves completely. And most importantly, you start to remember who you are when you're not constantly trying to be everything to everyone. Let's talk about why this happens. When you're always available, you're sending a message without saying a word. You're communicating that your time has no value, that your priorities can be shifted at will, and that you don't have anything important going on in your life. People don't consciously think this, but subconsciously, they absorb this message. You've probably experienced this yourself. Think about someone in your life who's always available. When they text you, do you feel the same urgency to respond as you do when someone who's usually busy reaches out? When they invite you somewhere, does it carry the same weight as an invitation from someone whose time feels precious? The truth is, scarcity creates value. This isn't manipulation or game playing. It's human psychology. When something or someone becomes less available, our minds automatically assign it higher importance. We start to wonder what they're doing, who they're with, what's occupying their time that we're not part of. But here's where it gets interesting. When you stop being available, you don't just change how others see you. You change how you see yourself. You start to realize that your time actually is valuable. You begin to understand that your energy is finite and precious. You discover that you have choices about where you invest your attention and presence. Think about the last time you cancelled plans to be alone or to do something you actually wanted to do. How did it feel? If you're like most people, it probably felt uncomfortable at first, maybe even guilty. You might have worried about disappointing someone, about seeming selfish, about what they would think of you. This discomfort is telling you something important. It's revealing how much of your identity has been built around being available to others, how much of your sense of worth comes from being needed, being the go-to person, being reliable to the point of self-neglect. When you start setting boundaries around your availability, something magical happens. The people who truly care about you will respect these boundaries. They'll value your time more because you've shown them that it has value. They'll appreciate your presence more because it's no longer guaranteed. And the people who don't respect your boundaries, they reveal themselves for who they really are. They show you that they were more interested in what you could do for them than in who you are as a person. This revelation might sting, but it's also liberating. It frees you from relationships that were draining your energy without giving anything meaningful back. The shift doesn't happen overnight. When you first start pulling back, people might push harder. They might accuse you of changing, of being selfish, of not caring anymore. This is resistance. It's the natural response of people who have grown comfortable with unlimited access to your time and energy. Stay strong during this phase. Remember that you're not becoming mean or uncaring. You're becoming selective. You're choosing quality over quantity in your relationships. You're investing your precious time and energy in connections that truly matter. As you maintain these new boundaries, you'll notice changes in yourself that go beyond your relationships. You'll start to enjoy your own company more. You'll rediscover interests and passions that got lost in the chaos of being available to everyone else. You'll find clarity about what you actually want, not just what others want from you. Your creativity will flourish when it's not constantly interrupted by other people's needs. Your goals will become clearer when you have uninterrupted time to think about them. Your sense of self will strengthen when it's not constantly being shaped by external demands. This doesn't mean becoming a hermit or cutting everyone off. It means being intentional about your availability. It means learning to say no to good things so you can say yes to great things. It means understanding that your presence is a gift, not an obligation. Start small. Don't answer every text immediately. Create specific times when you're unavailable for non-emergency communication. Say no to plans that don't align with your values or interests. Choose solitude over social obligation sometimes. Watch what happens. Notice how people's behavior towards you changes. Pay attention to how you feel about yourself when you honor your own needs and boundaries. Observe the quality of your relationships as they shift from quantity-based to value-based. The people who matter will still be there. In fact, they'll be more present, more engaged, more appreciative of the time you do spend together. Your relationships will deepen because they'll be based on mutual respect rather than one-sided availability. You might lose some people along the way. That's perfectly okay. You are probably carrying those relationships anyway. When you stop being available to everyone, you make space for the right people to show up in your life. You create room for relationships that energize rather than drain you. Remember, you teach people how to treat you through your availability. When you're always there, you teach them that your time isn't valuable. When you create boundaries, you teach them that your presence is something to be valued and respected. The goal isn't to become unavailable, it's to become selectively available. It's to choose where you invest your most precious resources, your time and energy, based on what truly matters to you. When you stop being available to everyone, you become available to yourself. You rediscover your worth. You remember your dreams. You reclaim your power. And in doing so, you don't just change how the world sees you. You change how you move through the world. Everything changes when you realize that your availability is not a given. It's a choice, and it's time to start choosing more carefully.